Hi guys, Veggie Wrestling back, and I'm so sorry I've had to miss several pay-per-views in the last few months, guys. I've been very busy. The channel, the other channel, I should say, Veggie Gamer, has gone through a bit of a transition recently where we started to cover a lot more movie stuff, and that's obviously really limited my time. So I'm so sorry. That will be fixed, guys. I will start to post more regularly on here, but unfortunately, I had to miss a lot of the road to WrestleMania this year, and so but I thought I would get you my thoughts and opinions and predictions out today on the WrestleMania 41 card. I will be going through each one and giving my opinions on the build, my opinions of them being WrestleMania. I think it's obviously it's quite, I don't want to say controversial card, but there's definitely a lot of debate about WrestleMania this year, guys. Now, at the end of last year's WrestleMania, I thought to myself, next year's won't be as good as this, but you know, it's still going to be good. If people just got into wrestling and expected WrestleMania to be as good as the last match of last year every single year, they're in for some bad WrestleMania main events, guys. They really are. There have been some weak ones over the years. I remember Jericho and Triple H always being... Well, that was more because it followed Rock Hogan, which is obviously the much bigger match and everything, but obviously Bam Bam Bigelow and the American football and everything. There are definitely main events which are not as epic as last year's at WrestleMania 41. But that being said, I feel like there is some valid criticism to point at some of this card. But we'll go through it. I'm going to try to stay positive, guys, because you know there's enough negativity in wrestling and discussions and everything. People get very passionate, guys, and it's a cool thing to get so passionate about something that you enjoy and everything. It's when it becomes like kind of vile and like attacking people for having certain opinions, which is just heartbreaking. And that happens, I brought it up before, guys, it seems to happen more for the in the women's division. Like, people are very strong about their favorite wrestlers, and they go very strong against other wrestlers and everything. But it seems to be like, I don't know. We'll get into it, guys. Like I said, I'm going to be trying to keep this video positive, but we'll go through it. I'm going to go through in the order that SmackDown Hotel has listed them, so we'll go to the bottom of the card and move up. And give my predictions and my thoughts on the build-up to it. So, bad start, example for me, guys, because I do tend to skip a lot of these segments. AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. I don't really think this has had much of a storyline at all. I know that Killian Cross has kind of been teased to be kind of a part of it, but then he also isn't and everything. I don't think he's going to come out at WrestleMania. I think it'd be cool if he did. I think it would be cool if he did. I'm a big fan of Killian Cross, guys. I do feel like his old NXT entrance, which I'm very limited to seeing Killian Cross ring work because of all the shenanigans with his career and everything. I do feel like his old NXT entrance didn't do him any favors. It's basically like saying he's the greatest wrestler of all time, but he hasn't actually yet to do anything yet, you know. And so I feel like that's the sort of entrance that you evolve into. So him showing up on the main roster with that ridiculously over-the-top entrance, I do think actually hurt him a bit. So I'd like him to be a part of this. Like I say, when it comes to Logan Paul's matches in general, I'm not going to be one of these people who just like say, oh, I can't stand Logan Paul, but then also kind of getting worked by the whole thing that, you know, he's meant to be hated and everything, he's a heel and everything. My heart does drop a little bit. It's like, oh, okay, we're doing this part of the show. Just because it's very repetitive, there's never much storyline between him and the other wrestler, because he isn't there very much. Sure, he'll do like a few backstage promos and everything, but it's all very similar. Like, Logan Paul is always the person that the wrestler has to overcome, you know. So there's very little back and forth, in my opinion. AJ Styles, absolutely love him, obviously. I do feel like he is in the point of his career. I mean, he's been in the point of his career where he can lose to anyone and still keep his shine. He's just one of those fantastic wrestlers at that. And so I do feel like Logan Paul will win. Has he ever won at WrestleMania before? I'm trying to think how many WrestleMania matches he's had before. But I do feel like that Logan will win this one. I think it will be with assistance, but just from his random podcast buddies who show up. Who I don't know who they are, guys. Again, it'd be nice to get more of an introduction to them without having to go outside the show to do that. But not really looking forward to this. It's going to be, it's a pee break is the term, which a lot of people use for certain matches. There's going to be a big bit where they're going to jump. They're probably going to do the spring of the rope things, like he did with Ricochet before. But yeah, not particularly looking forward to it. My prediction is Logan Paul. I would want AJ to win, but at the same time, he doesn't really need to. And it's going to be more of a headline if Logan wins, and that seems to be what they're going for at the moment. Like the bit where is his name Travis Scott? Who I think is a musician. I don't know, guys, but he came out with The Rock and was there for when Cena turned heel and everything. And I don't know why he was there. I'm guessing to a lot of people who are into that type of music. If he is a musician, if he's not, if he's an actor, I apologise. But if you're really into whatever he does, it may have been a really good moment. But it seemed to be a really good moment between Rock, Cena, and Cody, and then someone in the background going like this. And seemingly purposely isn't very interested in what's going on. That's what I took from it. It looked like someone waiting to wait for them to get done so they could go down to the chip shop or something. He looked like he was kind of trying to get. I don't know why he was there, but then again, I don't know who he is. And that's on me, I guess. Anyway, Logan Paul's winning it. I think. Yeah, I feel like that's pretty likely, to be honest. And if Karrion is going to be having this campaign with AJ, obviously he was doing something with Sami Zayn, but that disappeared. I don't think Sami's even on the card this year, in fact. Then obviously AJ losing at WrestleMania can be a part of this redemption arc for him. Maybe we shall see. We have Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest, Sin City Street Fight. I'm really glad that the match has a gimmick, because I do feel like it kind of needs it. A lot of people very down on Priest in the build-up for this match. Not only because Drew is very, very good at social media, but even he is saying that this is a waste of space for him. Now, I get he's a heel in the situation, and he's kind of say that he's beneath Damian Priest, and then Damian Priest could beat him and everything like that, and it's a big moment and everything. But I feel like there's a limit. I mean, there's a limit of saying this guy's beneath me. This is pathetic and everything like that. I feel like what they've been doing on the TV shows has been great. I feel like Damien is great at selling, guys. It's that kind of selling where it's bordering on comical, where he's like that. But I think it's cool. You go back to the Attitude Era, they were all doing stuff like that, And so I think it's awesome. I feel like he has greatly improved. I feel like his title run was just plagued with errors that were outside of his control, like when he got his leg tied up and everything. That was against Drew, wasn't it, I think? Yeah, it was. Yeah, The thing is, Damien is ex-Judgment Day, and I really like Judgment Day. They were a huge part of a rough time for me, Roman's, the bloodline as well, and so I definitely do have a lot of affection for him. I think the match can be freaking amazing. I think it can be absolutely amazing. One thing that Damien used to do all the time on the mic, which I think he's stopped doing now, I feel like, is that he used to really downplay his matches in the same way that Drew's doing it on social media, where on TV, Drew is definitely not downplaying it. He's very good on screen, with this sort of thing. But often back in the past, Damien would kind of dismissing whoever he's wrestling, whereas I feel like that's gone now, and I feel like that's a really good place for him to be. When it comes to this event, guys, I feel like most people are expecting Damien to win because he is the newer talent. I don't mean you can really say the younger talent. But I do feel like Drew has been owed a storyline ending win for a long time. With everything that he did with CM Punk, everything that he did with Roman Reigns, I actually do feel like that Drew is winning. He did take the necklace, but it's all about jewelry with Drew, isn't it? I am going to go with Drew. I think that Drew's going to get his shine back, which he doesn't really need. He's like AJ, where he's like Teflon. It doesn't matter what damage he takes, he'll still be relevant. But I do feel like this is going to be a receipt for last year's WrestleMania. I feel like it would be an odd choice for Damien to win. I guess it depends what's going to be going on next with the world title. Universal title, whatever it's called now. Yeah, I'll put it like this. I feel like whoever wins this one is going to be the next contender for the world champion. Which does correspond with what I'm thinking. Yeah, I think Drew is winning it. But it's going to be a fun match. I'm looking forward to it. I'm really glad it has a gimmick, because I do feel like if it didn't, it would be bordering on filler. And believe me, I do feel like there is some filler in this WrestleMania card, but we'll get to it, guys. So let's move on to the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. Everyone in this match, I think, is fantastic. I really do, guys. I'm new to Lyra, relatively, but Bayley's obviously like fantastic. Liv, I'm so glad that people are finally opening their eyes to seeing how actually good she actually is. And I feel like she is rapidly improving as well. She is such a great, snarly, like, frustrated, angry heel during matches. She really is. Just look at her freaking facial expressions during like the third act of a match, guys, where she's just like frustrated, like, oh, she should just stay down and everything. She's great. I think she's brilliant. Raquel Rodriguez, I think is in the right place. She's essentially her Diesel at the moment. I feel like that is appropriate. That being said, there has been very little build up to this match. Sure, I know there have been back and forth between these wrestlers and everything, but having a gauntlet match 2 weeks before WrestleMania, it does feel like it's really been just chucked together. I feel like I don't know if there are currently any other over enough proper tag team female tag teams at the moment. I just don't think there are. The women's tag team division is largely made up of random wrestlers getting put together, you know. So yeah, I'm not particularly excited about this. I think that Liv and Raquel should win it. I feel like Bayley, Lyra has a very short shelf life, but maybe they're going to turn Bayley heel in the future, and that would be a good way of doing that. But unless Bayley turns heel in this match, I don't think it'll happen. Could do. I want Judgment Day to win it, and I feel like they probably will. I should say, when it comes to who I want to win the street fight between Drew and Damien, it's going to be Drew again. It is. I really like them both. They're actually quite level pegging to me, guys, but Drew's work has been so good, and he has been so useful for getting over the people now at the top of the card. I think that I feel like he needs his WrestleMania moment, you know. Sure, he had it last time, but we know how that ended. I need to have a drink, guys. I'm dehydrating rapidly. I'm not very well today, actually. Okay, guys. Now, hear me out. I think that this is destined. I should say, the WWE Intercontinental Championship Fatal 4-Way match. This match is destined to steal the show. I actually do. I feel like this match is going to be insane. I don't know how many other wrestlers are going to get involved. I think it's likely that Kalito could be there. I don't know. I think JD's out for a while, isn't he? After a horrific freaking spot. I feel like this is going to still show. I think it's actually going to go insane. Where, you know, we had the Sin City street fight and everything, guys, but I feel like that this is going to go absolutely wild as well. I feel like we're going to be getting tables and people's bodies going to be being thrown everywhere. It's going to be Penta's first WrestleMania. I feel like his entrance, because I feel like it's, I don't know, guys. I don't know if they're doing it to mock AEW. I don't know. But Penta's entrance each and every single show is bigger every single time. I feel like if he's still with the company in a few years' time, his entrance is essentially going to be Sephiroth doing the Supernova from Final Fantasy VII, you know? Just like this asteroid coming through the galaxy and destroying everything. But I think this is going to be fantastic. Everyone involved is brilliant. I personally like Finn's current character, guys. I know that I'm in the minority, but I feel like I never understood his babyface character. I really didn't. And the Demon is something which I largely don't know of because I didn't watch NXT. Dominic is doing... he's been so good. Penta, it's wonderful seeing him and Rey Fenix for the first time, guys, because like I said, I watched a little bit of AEW, but not much. And I didn't even know they were actual brothers, guys. I genuinely didn't. And Braun is just incredible. He really is. I think that when they decide... Because the thing is, he's not a heel or babyface at the moment, is he? When they decide to go full-on... I feel like he will be one of these utility guys who can be full-on heel, full-on babyface, which is actually rare, guys. It actually really is. To be that good at both. But when they decide for him to go full-on babyface, he is going to be, like the next face of the company. I genuinely do feel like that. I feel like he is so good. As long as he keeps his nose clean and everything, you know. So I feel like this match is going to be absolutely spectacular. I feel like this is going to be actually my match of the card, guys. Now, granted, I am not a big fan of triple threats, I should say, and so that does make it a little bit this WrestleMania a little bit harder to judge. But I feel like this is where you want your multi-person matches to be. And so I feel like I'm contradicting myself. But anyway, guys, I feel like this is going to be the best match of the night, of the show. I actually do. Who I want to win, I think is actually the same as who I think is going to win. And I would put my life savings on Dominic Mysterio walking out of WrestleMania Intercontinental Champion. I am so convinced that this is happening, guys. And it will be a headline grabber. It will be a storyline builder for so many people, you know. The Judgment Day huddling around the Intercontinental Champion who's like this tiny little kid. I know he's not a kid, guys, but you know, that's his character. Who always just manages to get away at the last second. But then eventually Braun gets his receipt on him down the line. I think will be fantastic. I think it will be absolutely brilliant. I also do feel like this match might actually be the end of Finn being in Judgment Day, which means that somebody could get involved, a new member could get involved, and screw Finn out, and then maybe on Raw, after WrestleMania, they actually officially kick Finn out. I like the fact that Judgment Day keeps on evolving, guys. I really do. I think it's a really cool concept like that. So I feel like Dominic's definitely winning. Imagine that image, guys. Just imagine that image at WrestleMania. All it needs to do is just show a shot of Braun's face, and you think, okay, Dominic is going to get murdered for the next 6 months. You know? It's going to be great. It's going to be great. I feel like I want Dominic to win. I am convinced he's going to win. And it's going to be such a salty moment for the fans. I imagine the reaction. They need to do it. They need to. I want to hear Las Vegas scream in horror when Dominic wins the Intercontinental Championship. Moving on to the women's triple threat match for the women's world championship. I don't know if I've actually put my thoughts into a video on this, guys, because I missed so much. But I have certainly done in comments and in tweets and everything. I think that these three wrestlers are absolutely up there in the greatest female wrestlers of all time. I genuinely do, without exception, guys. I do feel like this triple threat, the storyline has not been great. I feel like it is largely because EO's promos are very, very limited. They usually are, I will see you at WrestleMania, or I will still be champion at WrestleMania. And to write a WrestleMania storyline around that without a manager, maybe they could have got Dakota being her mouthpiece or something like that. I don't know how particularly good Dakota is on the mic. But it really has limited it. And so I feel like it has been made a triple threat because of that. That's not to take away from Io Sky at all, guys. She's absolutely brilliant. I remember seeing videos of her years before she joined WWE and thinking, it's such a shame that WWE just can't have someone who can wrestle that well in the women's division. And then when she shows up, guys, she's absolutely brilliant. She has one of the greatest entrance musics going right now, guys. She really does. And that seems to be one of these things where everyone like says, unpopular opinion, but I think that Io Sky's entrance music is one of the absolute best. But everyone's saying it. So no, I don't want to disrespect her in the slightest, guys. The fact is, I feel like we can agree her promos are limited. And when your promos are limited, you either, one, need to be like The Undertaker, because Mark Calloway was never a good promo, guys. I know that's controversial to say, guys, but he in my opinion, he just wasn't. But he didn't need to be. So it can be the gimmick. Like, Asuka is so insane that she doesn't really need to talk, and so I feel like, and I feel like Asuka's English is a bit better, right? I could be wrong. So basically, the build-up to this match has been Rhea and Bianca facing off, and then shoving Io, and then Io attacking them, and then screaming in Japanese. And that's happened at least 3 or 4 times. And, the storyline between Rhea and Bianca is almost saying this match should actually be, it would actually be a lot better if it were just Rhea and Bianca. And I'll be honest, guys, I kind of agree with that. I really do. I feel like it would be so cool if this entire storyline was between Bianca and Rhea. And so for Rhea to drop the title on Raw was a strange choice for me. And in a weird way, I am a massive Rhea Ripley mark, guys. I've got to put my hands on the table and everything. I'm a massive Rhea Ripley mark. But what I'm about to say may sound like I'm kind of contradicting. No, I'll try and word it rightly. If you have a champion, a dominant champion, and she has been a very dominant champion, guys. Sure, she only recently got the title back off Liv and everything. Well, it's quite a while ago now. But she has been dominant, and she's been running through people. She's even been squashing some people. Which is, squash matches have their places and everything. If you then, just before WrestleMania, have that champion lose the title for her to only for her to win it back at WrestleMania, is actually almost an insult. It's an insult to the fans, it's an insult to the other wrestlers. It's like, oh my god, I can't believe Rhea Ripley finally did it! Again! It's insane. And so I'm the biggest Rhea Ripley mark, guys. I'll say it right now, I think she is already the greatest women's wrestler of all time. Shoot me! I know, seriously, but I genuinely do think that. I think she has it all, guys. Promos, the ability to sell. I think she's absolutely brilliant. I'm not saying that she's the best at selling, guys. All 3 of these ladies are incredible at selling. They really are. But I feel like she is the total package to reference Lex Luger. Lex Luger, yeah. But to have a dominant champion to lose the title just before WrestleMania and then to win it back, that does feel like a Charlotte Flair storyline. It really does, and we'll get to that, guys. My goodness. So I'm looking forward to these wrestlers having a wrestling match. Triple threats are never my favourite, guys, because I feel like in the 4-way, this is going to be chaos. Whereas this, they are going to be trying to tell more of a story. And I feel like stories are never that well told in a triple threat match. I know that some people say that some of the best WrestleMania matches of all time have been triple threats. I disagree. I just do, guys. I feel like the matches are better when there is more of a story. More of a story. I'm not saying that it can't be a story, but there's more of a story when it is a wrestler versus another wrestler, and they're able to tell a story. I mean, it's like saying Roman Cody last year was fantastic, guys. But, people really like Sami Zayn, so why not put Sami Zayn in that? Because it would have diluted the story they were telling between Cody and Roman. And so, because there is no real story apart from just keeps on getting disrespected and then attacks and then shouts in Japanese, it's convoluted, I feel like. And, and the stuff with Bianca and Ripley, like saying, we're the real match, really does heavily suggest that Io's retaining. So when it comes to who's winning this, I mean, it's got to be Io, unless they're turning Bianca heel. I hate the fact that people are booing her at the moment, guys, but I completely understand why. Because of this storyline, there had to be someone to boo. And they're not going to boo Io or Rhea Ripley. Of course they're not. She is so good, Bianca Belair, guys. She really is unbelievably good. And I've talked about it in videos before, definitely, how I do feel like she hasn't rebounded since the horrific when she got squashed by Becky. I feel like that was such a horrific moment for her career. So they could turn her heel here. I wouldn't be against a heel Bianca Belair, because if Jade defeats Naomi, maybe that's where we could go after WrestleMania. Because I don't know, guys. I'd be upset because it means that they'd had to change her entrance music. And I personally believe that Bianca Belair's entrance music is absolutely one of the best as well. Anyway, I love all three of these wrestlers, seriously. They're up there with my favourite wrestlers, let alone female division. But it's the fact it's a triple threat, and the fact that I knew it. As soon as they were hinting towards it being a triple threat, the storyline wasn't going to be really there. At least it isn't for me, anyway. I am a little bit down on it. When it comes to the winner, I feel like it is likely going to be Io. I'm the biggest Rhea Ripley mark in the world, guys, but I think that for her to win it back would be a mistake. So I'm actually going to say, I hope. Oh man, guys. I'm going to say I hope Bianca wins it and turns heel. But again, I don't want her to lose that entrance music though. If Io retains, I will say this, guys. Why didn't they just have it where Bianca and Io both successfully gained a title shot against Rhea, the champion, and then have Io beat Rhea Ripley and pin Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania? I feel like that would have been a lot bigger, but we shall see. That's my prediction anyway. I think it's going to be Io. I think I actually would prefer Bianca, and Rhea Ripley's my favourite out of the three. Work that one out. Moving on to the undisputed WWE World Championship, guys, which is going to be ending off the pay-per-view. It's actually the Night 2 main event. I feel like this has been great. I feel like the promos have been absolutely brilliant. I think that there should have been more action between the two. Like, yeah. Like, imagine, like, the, what's it called? Limp Bizkit promo package between Rock and Stone Cold. Imagine that, but for this rivalry. It's just going to be them standing in the ring, and then occasionally, like, there's been, like, one move done, you know? And that's not down to Cena's availability. He has been there. But you know what? I feel like they're right off the bat, straight after what happened at the Royal Rumble. No, at the Elimination Chamber, sorry. On the Raw, sorry, on the SmackDown, or like maybe a couple of weeks afterwards, Quick, oh my goodness, I'm dating myself there. R-Truth should have come out, and Cena should have absolutely destroyed him, because, you know, he's the John Cena fan, you know? But we didn't even get that, and so there's been very little physicalness between them in the build-up to this. That being said, I do think it's going to be a fantastic match. Calling it is actually very difficult, guys. It really is. And that's what you want for your main event. It really is. I feel like... Well, last year's I feel like was fairly predictable. But then again, predictability in wrestling isn't necessarily a bad thing. But oh, man. It's a tough one, guys. I think that Cody Rhodes is retaining. Yeah, I think he is. I feel like he's going to be having a long reign. Not Roman Reigns sort of length, but I feel like they're purposely making this the babyface equivalent. I feel like we will get John Cena and Cody Rhodes again down the line. Because Cena says that he's retiring. And so I guess what they do, if he does win it, and like Cody said, oh, one more chance, or something like that, you know. But I do feel like Cody is retaining. It's a tough one to call. Who I'd want to win, I think it's Cody as well, personally. But then again, I don't have the nostalgia and the affection for John Cena, because when the heel turn happened, guys, everyone was going crazy. Where it's like, oh wow, that's a cool twist. Because Cena's time was the time where I kind of didn't watch wrestling, you know, and so I don't have that connection that much to him. And so I think that a lot of people do want him to win it. I can understand, depending on when you start watching wrestling and everything. But I feel like Cody's winning it. I feel like that is what I want as well. Let me know in the comments, as always. Jade versus Naomi, guys. I've got to put my hands up. I've got to admit something, guys. I am a fool. I'm an absolute fool. For the longest time, watching this triple tag team of Jade, Naomi, and Bianca, I've always thought, like, Naomi's kind of really just getting shoehorned into this, because, you know, we know who the real athletes are. I've always kind of been down on Naomi, I guess because I know that she has a huge internet wrestling community following. She's absolutely beloved by people, and yet whenever I watch her matches or her promos, I never see why. And so I've always just thought like she's been the third wheel in this tag team. Although I did love her hat that she had at one WrestleMania a while ago. I think it may have been last year, in fact. But her promos as a heel have absolutely astonished me, guys. I would never have put money on saying that Naomi could be a better heel than babyface. I think she's been absolutely brilliant. I really do. I'm loving the Owen Hart style look. I really do. The whole caution tape and everything. I think that's so cool. So she is absolutely... I gotta put my hands up, guys. I am wrong. It's wrong for someone in the internet wrestling community to ever say that. Naomi is a really good heel. And I never would have guessed that. I feel like it's like just because she seems like such a nice person. But she's very good, guys, and she looks psychotic. She looks mad, you know. And so she's done brilliantly in the short-ish build-up that this match has. It's been stretched out, but it hasn't been much of it, you know. I feel Jade's been great as well. It's interesting that they went with Jade being the babyface and Naomi being the heel. I'm wondering if that was something that changed since Elimination Chamber, because Jade coming out with those like the eye lenses and everything like that, and that outfit and everything looked like the devil coming for a soul when she was marching towards the Elimination Chamber. She looked genuinely terrifying, and so and she did heel tactics like putting Naomi's head in between the gate and slamming it and everything. I feel like something has flipped, where they've decided to go in a different direction from that night. That's my personal opinion. And I'm liking it. And so I feel like this match is going to be great. I don't think it's going to be a squash match. I know that some people are expecting it to be, because from what I gather, that's largely what Jade's matches were in AEW. I don't know. I haven't seen any of the matches, guys. I think Jade's winning. And I'm basing that almost solely on the fact that she lost to Liv a little while ago, which is her first loss in the WWE. I feel like this Naomi, if they keep the momentum behind her, can take a loss at this point. And so I'm going to go with... I think Jade is winning. I really like this new Naomi gimmick, guys. I really do. I'm going to go... Okay, this is crazy. I don't believe I'm saying this, guys. I think Jade Cargill is winning. I want Naomi to win. My God, I never would have thought that I would be saying that, guys. But, you know, I'm able to change my opinion on people, you know. And she's absolutely surprised me with her heel stuff. This is a long old video, guys. But, you know, we missed a lot, so I want to give my full thoughts. So, thank you very much. It looks like Rey Mysterio is holding a carrot in that picture. I need to be hydrating. I really do, guys. I'm not well today. Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano. I think it's very good of Triple H to put what is essentially a Sunday Night Heat match at WrestleMania. I'm sorry, guys. I find the El Grande Americano character funny. The obnoxiousness of it, the audacity of it, I think it's hilarious. As in, like, you know, it's clearly Chad Gable, but but one of the characters, one of the commentators never accepts that it is, you know. I kind of like that silliness. It's that kind of silliness which you don't see much in wrestling anymore. So I like that aspect of it. I personally see the character as being a humiliation for Chad Gable rather than an insult to any community. I know that some people are taking offense to it. You know, and that's their right. Everyone has the right to be offended. That's not how I see it. But then again, it's not my place to judge that. So I have no problem with the gimmick. I feel like El Generico, from what I've seen of him, is a lot more offensive than this, guys. Because at least El Grande Americano isn't just making up a language. I'm always down on Sami Zayn, and I'm sorry, guys. I'm such a moaner when I come to him. I really like him. This match doesn't need to be at WrestleMania, guys. I feel like it's just to give Ray a WrestleMania spot. It was like, when it was announced, it was like, well, that's getting a WrestleMania spot. But, like, the SmackDown tag team titles aren't getting a spot. Because I thought we were getting a huge 8-man crossover, Pretty Deadly, DIY, Motor City Machine Guns, and they bring the smoke. Come on. Preachers. It's some Preachers, isn't it? Oh my god, my brain's just gone completely blank, guys. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But I thought we were getting a 4-way tag team match, which was going to be people flying all over the place, maybe be a ladder match and everything. But no, it's gonna be Motor City Machine Guns versus the Street Profits. There we go. Preachers. The Street Profits on SmackDown. But we're getting Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano at WrestleMania. And I like both wrestlers involved, guys. Chad Gable, my god, how the mighty has fallen. Last year, this time, guys, he was so over. And then he got beaten by Sammy, like, what, 4 times? It's hard to come back from, like, yeah, anyway. I'm moaning about Sami Zayn again, actually, maybe we're going to be getting El Generico versus El Grande Americano at this rate. I don't really care. I feel like El Grande Americano will win, and that's what I want. I want him to win. But at the end, I want Ray to whip his mask off, and then we can get back to Chad Gable being one of the most underrated wrestlers in the company, actually getting a climb up the ladder. But I don't see that happening anytime soon with this new gimmick. So there. Sunday Night Heat special at WrestleMania. Again, guys, I'm kind of down on this. It feels like it really has had no build at all. The World Tag Team titles between the War Raiders and the New Day. The New Day a few months ago, in fact, quite a few months ago now, was so over, and like, you know, we're getting huge reactions and just like these dastardly heels, like, how dare you do that to Big E? But they just waited too long, guys. I feel like the New Day should have won the titles long ago. And maybe then they could have built up the War Raiders to be the baby face-to-face at WrestleMania. I feel like this is the wrong way around. They waited too long. You can't have such a huge moment, such a huge emotional moment with what they did to Big E, and then have crickets for so long, and then say, no, WrestleMania match. And so I'm down on this one as well. I'm trying not to be down too much on the card, guys, because there are definitely some matches still to come, which I'm really looking forward to. The New Day is definitely winning. Like 100%, they're 100% definitely winning at WrestleMania. I don't really care who wins, but I feel like it would make sense for the New Day to win it, so I'm choosing them as my pick that I want to win as well. Sorry that I'm sounding so down on it, guys, but these two matches, jeez. And yet we don't get the SmackDown titles, which has such a much better rivalry in the tag teams right now. Motor City Machine Guns at WrestleMania, guys, that's what I'm saying. Anyway. Moving on to LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu. I think this is going to be the shortest match on the card. I think it's going to be excellent. And I 100% think that Jacob Fatu is winning the United States Championship. I don't think there's any question about that. I think that is absolutely set in stone. I would be okay with Knight retaining. But I do feel like I would probably choose Fatu to win it just because it makes sense. You've got to take advantage of this guy. If you're not going to be putting up against the top of the show, because for whatever reason Solo's still doing so, you've got to get Jacob over in the mid card and him winning the. I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be a great match. I think the entrance is going to be excellent. I feel like both wrestlers are going to get a bit of a shine, but at the end of the day, I feel like that Jacob is going to be squashing LA Knight, and it just makes sense. So I'm really looking forward to that one, but blink and you miss it. I feel like it is going to be short. We're getting through it, guys. This is going to be an hour long. It shouldn't be. Okay, guys. Now, there is a little term which is used very sparingly, in my opinion, in the wrestling community called X-Pac heat. Which is, I think, unfair. I don't think X-Pac ever was what he represents as X-Pac heat. I don't think he ever actually was that sort of wrestler. But the build to the WWE Women's Championship, it does feel like one of those Charlotte Flair matches of, you know, Charlotte Hogan. I know that people refer to as and stuff like that. She gets injured. She comes back just before Royal Rumble. Well, no, she's only won Royal Rumble twice, isn't she? But once, I think twice, yeah. But, you know, she comes back around this time of year, gets the title match, or gets the title beforehand, and then is in the title match at WrestleMania. Now, I'm not going to be on these YouTube channels, and I know there's many of them who are going to completely blame her on that, guys, because quite frankly, it's obviously not just her that is causing that to happen. But the repetitive of it is painful. It's what made Becky Lynch babyface, guys. Everyone makes out such a babyface, guys. Everyone makes out that Becky's the man gimmick started when Nia Jax busted her nose. It didn't, guys. It started when she turned on Charlotte Flair after losing the opportunity to go to WrestleMania or losing the title to Charlotte or something like that. And the crowd went absolutely wild. And so this is not a new thing, guys. This whole thing of Charlotte being, this time of year always being over and then see you later for the rest of the year and everything. And that isn't me saying that her injuries aren't real and everything. I completely believe her injuries are real. But that made the Royal Rumble win feel a bit hollow. And everything since, guys, I have not enjoyed. The whole big promo where apparently they genuinely did start shooting it on each other during the promo where Barrett was there in between them and everything. I didn't enjoy that. I found it awkward viewing. I couldn't wait for it to be ended. I'll tell you what, it certainly doesn't make me want to watch the match anymore. So that's what I mean by X-Pac heat, guys. You have the ultimate example is Dominic Mysterio, guys. I feel like he is such a good wrestler where his promos and everything he does and everything, all his dastardly cheating and everything like that, make you want to pay money to see him get his ass kicked. That's a heel. This, the build-up has been for it where I kind of just don't want to see the match. I genuinely don't. I don't. I want to know. I want to know what the result is, but that's it. And so I don't know if it's going to be like where Nia and Charlotte started actually throwing hands a few years ago, or it's going to be if Tiffany wins, Charlotte's going to start immediately laughing again, which a lot of people say after the Rhea match was just, oh, it's just because she was so happy for her. Well, then why did she do it in a previous Royal Rumble when she was thrown out by Rhea and Bianca, and she started laughing then? Well, she started laughing because she's so happy that she isn't in the Royal Rumble anymore? And so, I don't know. It's confusing, guys. I like my wrestling storylines fictional. I genuinely do. And so I find this awkward. I don't care. I do care. Who do I think is going to win the match? I think Charlotte is winning. I actually genuinely do. I don't think that's the end of the world, guys. I don't think that's the end of the world. I know Stash Club had one commenter saying that it would be a worst case scenario if Charlotte wins. I don't think it's a worst case scenario, guys. If she wins, it means that this rivalry is going to continue, and Tiffany's definitely going to be getting a shine back down the line. I truly do believe that. I feel like Charlotte is winning it. I would prefer Tiffany Stratton, and for Tiffany to move on to someone else afterwards, because quite frankly, I'm done with the storyline. I'm not looking forward to the match, guys. And I know that all news. No, not all news is bad news. That doesn't make any sense. All publicity is good publicity. That is not the case for me. I know that everyone was talking about the promo, which when they uploaded to YouTube apparently was heavily edited down. But I did see the entire thing where they started going into people their personal lives and everything. That ain't what I like in wrestling, guys. It just ain't. It just ain't. And so I don't care. I hope Tiffany wins it. If Charlotte wins it, fine. I hope that if they do, then they can work out their problems, because obviously there have been wrestlers who have had serious heat in the past. Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, and stuff like that, where they were able to work things out and then go on and have fantastic matches and down the line bury the hatchet and everything. I hope that happens, but right now I don't care, because after that promo where they started and Tiffany walks off trying to not give Charlotte enough time to say anything back and everything, it was God, it's not what I like in wrestling. My personal opinion, guys. Let's move on to Gunther versus Jay, guys. So the 2 Royal Rumble winners back to back, guys. I don't think it's unfair of me to say that this has been a bit of a letdown when it comes to the build. But then again, I don't think Gunther has been particularly interesting as a champion for a while anyway, and so it's definitely not all Jay's fault. I've just realised that we don't have Orton versus Solo, which I'm pretty sure has been confirmed for WrestleMania. If it hasn't, I apologise. In fact, I may as well do that now. I think that Orton will win at WrestleMania if it is Solo. There we go. And I think it kind of makes sense as well. I don't think it makes sense for Solo to win. But you know what? It isn't on the card, so I won't talk any more about that. Quick drink. I 100% believe that this was originally meant to end night 1-ish. I genuinely do think it was meant to end night 1, but they got cold feet on it. Maybe it was the botches, which they then tried to make into a storyline, which was just kind of weird. The stuff with Jimmy was very visually powerful. Obviously, I feel it looked amazing and everything. And Jay's promo this past Raw was really good. It's definitely the best promo building up this match and everything. And even the crowd were quietly yeeting, but after a while they stopped during the promo. And that was actually a really cool moment. Because the one criticism that a lot of people would say is he just does that and that's it now. I hate the glasses. I feel like that. I feel like him and Seth Rollins should be banned from having glasses like that personally, because we want to see the emotions and everything in there. If they're going to be babyface, I think that you should get rid of the glasses, in my opinion. Anyway, that's waffle. But yeah, this promo where he was saying to Gunther and everything, like saying how he was scared and everything like that. And he was so passionate and like saying what the revenge he's going to get on Gunther and everything. And Gunther's face was like, almost like, where was this before? You know, in a good way. You know, in a good way. Like Gunther's like saying, hang on, this isn't the usual Jay and everything. And the crowd were like saying yeet between every single thing that Jay said. But after a while, they started to get really quiet, and after a while, they stopped. I think that that's awesome. So that was the best part of this build-up for me. But it was a week before WrestleMania. 2 weeks before WrestleMania, I should say. And after the main event had already been taken away from main event Jey Uso, I feel like that is killing him, guys. Seriously, much like I feel like Killian Cross's entrance, his old entrance, was doing him no favors. I feel like Jay's name being main event Jey Uso needs to go away. Give him something else. Call him something else. But stop calling him main event Jey Uso. It is killing him, guys. Because quite frankly, I think he can do really good promos, guys. In the Bloodline, he was absolutely fantastic. He can act really well. His matches can be really good, guys. Sure, some wrestlers' movesets are limited. I don't think that means that they can't tell a story in the ring. And I feel like Jay has had countless examples over the last few years of telling a great story in the ring. I feel like he can absolutely do it. So it's not that at all. But I do feel like he is not as good as the gimmick is making out. And so to call him main event Jey Uso, it's the same with Solo. I feel like he is getting over pushed right now. Because I feel so bad for Solo, guys, because he debuted on the main roster when I was in Cardiff. And I saw it with my eyes, guys. I also saw Dominic turning heel, which was amazing. I feel like they are getting put... I feel like Roman's success has made it where Roman can say, now I want you to make my family as big a stars as me. But right now, Jay and Solo are not that good, though. I feel like they both can get there. But I feel like this storyline, and I feel like the yeeting up until a couple of weeks ago, has not been doing Jay any favours. So that's my opinion on this match. I feel like the match is going to be great. I feel like the match is going to be excellent. I feel like it's going to be kicking off night 1. That's the perfect place for it, guys. I do. I think it's going to be kicking off night 1. Jay's winning it is my prediction. It's going to be that moment, everyone doing that around him with the title and everything. Oh, I don't know, guys. If I was booking for Jay for his benefit, I would get him back down to the upper mid card. Because quite frankly, for the longest time, I feel like this title really hasn't meant very much. I mean, compared to the other title, it really doesn't. But But Gunther has not been that great as a champion over the last few months. When they were trying to make him like the proud heel, or like not wanting interference and everything, I feel like that diluted his character quite a lot. And now that's gone. Now he's reverted back to this barbarian who's like rubbing blood all over himself and everything. Oh, if Jay loses, that is going to be such a fart in church. I feel like they now have to go. I feel like they have to go through with it. Sorry, I just stole Matt Morgan's line there. Fart in church. I feel like they've booked themselves into a corner. Jay has to win the championship, because if not, everyone, even wrestlers on the show, are going to be laughing at the fact he's called main event Jey Uso, and yet he couldn't even win the title when not in the main event. I feel like they booked themselves into a corner, guys. I feel like they have to get Jay as the champion now. Who I want to win? Oh, I don't know, guys. I guess Jay, but keep that title reign short. Keep it short. Yeah. That's my prediction, guys, and so that does correlate with my earlier prediction of Drew McIntyre winning the Sin City Street fight. I feel like it's possible in a few months' time Drew McIntyre could beat Jay for the World Heavyweight Championship. I feel bad for Jay. I feel really bad for Jay, guys. This is not me ranting on him. I feel like he's been booked into a corner here. But I feel like he's going to be walking out WrestleMania heavyweight champion, so that's nothing to be sniffed at. And now we're ending on night one's main event, which is a little bit confusing. The triple threat, guys. I'm not going to go with my opinions about triple threats because I've already done that. I do feel like Seth Rollins is the third wheel in this match. I feel like if it was one-on-one with Paul Heyman, fighting for Paul Heyman's honor, it would be a lot better. Seth Rollins laughing in the background during the promos, I don't think has added much to it. That being said, if I was to predict who I think is actually going to be winning it, oh no, I can't. I've got to go with Punk. I'm going to go with Punk. I could so easily see Seth winning it because he is, like Drew McIntyre, gone through a lot of losses over the last few years. And he's been putting over the people that have been going up to the top roster, Cody, for example, and Punk. But Punk beat him a couple of months ago, though, at the Netflix debut. Do you really end WrestleMania Night 1 with Seth Rollins winning the match, though? I don't think Roman's winning. Okay, we may as well do this in reverse. If I was fan booking it for myself, I want Roman to win because I think he's the best. I really do, guys. I think it's absolutely brilliant. I really do. What I think is more likely is the other two. Because the thing is, Punk is getting his dream. He's headlining WrestleMania. That's it. He's doing it. That is already happening. I feel like to keep the rivalry going, if they want to keep the rivalry going, unless Roman's going off, I don't think he's. I don't heard of him going off or anything. You have Seth win it. Am I really predicting that Seth Rollins is closing out night 1 as the winner? I just feel like he's the third wheel, guys. But the loss against CM Punk at the Netflix debut. But then Seth was the one who won the cage match, didn't he? Or did he? Because of Roman. I feel like it was him. I can't remember. I genuinely can't remember. I don't know, guys. It's going to be a bigger moment if Punk win. I'm going to go with Punk is winning. Just because they are really pushing over the ex-AEW people. And it does seem to be on purpose. I think he is winning it. I could so easily see Seth Rollins winning it. Roman winning it. But I also don't think that Roman's taking the pin. Guys, this video has been just under an hour. I did not expect that. I'm so sorry about how long it is. If you got through the whole thing, thank you so much for listening to my waffle, because it was a lot of waffle. I'm so sorry on how negative I was on some matches, guys. This just shouldn't be a WrestleMania. All this is just so last minute. If the New Day won the titles back at the Royal Rumble or something, sure, I'm fine with this being at WrestleMania, but I'd much rather the SmackDown titles be up there with a multi-way match. I really hope that my hatred, my disdain for certain storylines didn't suggest that I don't like the wrestlers. I like all the wrestlers, guys. I feel sorry for Jay and Soto. I do. I feel like they're being pushed too strong, too far. But either way, guys, he needs to get rid of that main event name. Just call him anything else, you know? I don't know what. The Samoan Kid is Jacob's dad, right? Anyway, this video's been way too long anyway. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Leave your predictions in the comments, guys. I can't wait to read them. This has been a long one. I apologise. Please like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'm Veggie Gamer, and I'll see you next time.